First of all, step back and rate the spectacle. Everything involved, all the expectations. How did the spectacle fare?
I think it fared very well, and I think the blackout actually put an extra. It was like having a second halftime show. At first it gave everybody a start. Could this be some nefarious attack? And then everybody's tweeting, whether Beyonce blew a fuse or the 49ers sabotaged it so they had some time to get their act together. That gave us 34 minutes that most Super Bowls don't have.
Yeah. In fact, I went immediately to Twitter last night when that happened, and it was very entertaining. I mean, it was made, that 34-minute delay was made for social media, just to go in there and start hamming it up.
That's exactly right. All of a sudden, you've got all these people. They're all gathered to watch a show. They've got their smartphones out or their laptops open, and all of a sudden the game stops, and for the most part the commercials stop, and it was a perfect invitation to all of them.
Exactly. How do you think CBS did filling that outage?
Well, when it first happened, it was interesting because we cut off the people that are talking. It cut off mid-sentence, it sounded like to me, and then we go down to somebody whose mic is working on the sidelines, but not before we saw some of the pictures of the darkness and all the rest of it. You got a sense that they were kind of looking for things to say. They didn't really know what was going on. They were there to call a game, and suddenly they had to do something else. But I thought those 34 minutes went by pretty quickly.
I got to tell you, as a broadcaster, I got pretty excited because I thought, and I yelled at my wife, I said, "They've lost power in the booth." And she said, so what? I said, "No, this is a big deal." They got to fill this time now. They got to figure it out. And they scrambled. They got it together. So I have a lot of empathy for them during that.
Well, I've been hearing reports, and I haven't confirmed or seen this yet, that this may have broken another record. Somebody else told me that CBS had tweeted that. If that's true, that's now 4 in a row, making the 4 highest-rated TV shows of all time would all be Super Bowls.
Wow. How was Beyonce's performance?
I thought it was, if nothing else, an engineering miracle. The fact that they can get all that stuff onto the field, constructed, all of that Busby Berkeley-like coordinated choreography and lighting and all the rest of it, and then get it off and start the game again, was kind of miraculous. Though, in that survey reported by Adweek, people ranked the 4 things they like most about Super Bowl. The commercials were number 1 by quite a bit of a margin. The game was number 2. The food they ate at their Super Bowl party was number 3, and the halftime show was number 4. Now,
really?
Before last night, the survey was taken. But it's almost like the halftime show is the one time now you can actually go to the bathroom.
Yeah, because you can't go during when the commercials are coming up.
That's right. You can't.
I'm with you. I mean, look, I'm not in the demo for Beyonce, so I get that. But like you, I think it's a marvel that they can pull that off. I mean, most concerts like that, they take a day to set up for that kind of extravaganza.
Exactly, at least. And of course, she is the consummate performer. I mean, she got out there and she did it. It all went off without pretty much without a hitch. And even though you're right, I'm not in that demographic either, but she's been around long enough and has a big enough body of work that we at least recognize some of those songs, even in the upper demographics. And of course, everybody else would recognize it.
Bob Thompson's with us. The director of the Blyer Center for Television and Popular Culture at Syracuse University. Okay, let's get to the ads. In your view, what were the big winners last night? What were the ones that were most? What were the best ones?
When USA Today does its ad tracking thing, which they've been doing now for 25 years, what they're measuring is what people like. And I always think there's a big difference between liking an ad and having it be a good ad.
Right.
A good ad moves stuff off the shelves, gets people to buy things and feel good about a brand. So there were some really funny, amusing ads. That one where the kid's getting bullied and he goes and collects a team to go and confront the bully. The purple genie who grants wishes. The Babylandia, the world where babies come from. But they were great films, but as commercials, it's like, okay, they were all for some car. And was it the Kia? Was it the Toyota? Was it the Hyundai? You really don't associate that with it. My favorite was the Oreo commercial.
Oh, yeah.
Which you knew it was for Oreo because they were arguing about whether it was cookie or cream, which is a debate that goes back to our childhood. But the fact that all that mayhem takes place in a library and nobody ever raises their voice above a whisper, including the cop that drives his car through the wall of the building. I thought that was really quite clever.
Yeah, I thought that was really good too, for that reason, because as you say, the product is front and center with an argument that everybody's familiar with, and the odd juxtaposition of the fight in the library, which was just I thought that was good stuff. I agree. When the cop comes in, he's on the loudspeaker and he's whispering. I thought that was really good.
I think the worst by far were those. Of course, Anheuser-Busch on the USA Today poll, the Clydesdale one is on the very top. People love those Clydesdale commercials, and that was very moving and very nice. But also, almost at the bottom of that list was Anheuser-Busch's Black Crown commercial.
Yeah. What was up with that?
Your guess is as good as mine. I mean, it did look like, a bunch of hip people, mostly dressed in black, I guess at a hip party, but I thought that was almost unreadable.
Yeah, I didn't get it. I mean, again, maybe I'm out of the demo, and maybe there's some people out there who are young people looking to make their first choice about what beer to drink, and they thought, okay, I want to be like them, so I'll do that. But I thought, boy, this is I thought the same thing. So maybe
I would be afraid to ever buy Black Crown beer for fear people would think I wanted to be like them.
You don't have enough black in your closet, Bob, to do that. What about? I'll tell you an ad that bothered me. Of course, GoDaddy is always on the edge. And
right.
what about GoDaddy's ad where Bar Raffaelli, the supermodel, makes out with Walter?
Okay, well, I'm glad you brought this up because this is the most complex ad of them all. First of all, it's, again, on the USA ad tracking thing, which everybody reports on the morning shows next morning, it is dead last. And I'm thinking, if I am an advertiser, I want to be on the top, but if I'm on the very bottom, that's not bad either because then people are going to talk about it like we're doing right now. And GoDaddy has a reputation for doing these kinds of things. Okay, so part of it was tough to watch. That was a long kiss, and it was intimate.
Yeah.
And I think if you're a person with a skin condition, you could have really taken issue with some of that, what we saw there. But I guess in the end, I liked it because.
Oh, really?
As someone who's not terribly attractive, I like an ad that presents a world where that might be possible. So I'm giving a thumbs up to GoDaddy.
It was a polarizing ad. I mean, obviously people either were repelled by it, which I was, or they identify with it. And funny because in the office this morning I asked somebody about that and he had the same reaction, was that gives us all hope. Every
right.
geek, all geeks have hope. What
and
about
like most ads, hope that we really shouldn't have.
Exactly. Bob, what about, and I tweeted this morning and then found out I'm a racist. The Minnesota guy who speaks with a Jamaican accent. Now, I laughed at that, and I thought it was, again, a funny juxtaposition, but I'm told now that there were racist overtones to that, and because it was stereotyping Jamaicans, and therefore was a bad ad.
Yeah, well, there's been a lot of talk about that. I mean, and I think there are a lot of people that for which doing anything, a comedy like that, with ethnic dialect, where you're essentially making fun of the funny way they talk kind of thing, has got some issues, and it gets very delicate. And it's true. That is delicate. I guess the very fact that the guy was from Minnesota and somehow thought he could be this cool, Rastaman kind of thing was exactly what they were going for. But I don't know. If I'd have been the ad agency looking at that, I would say, yes, in certain places this might really work and be funny, but enough people are going to probably find it offensive that I would have probably encouraged a different direction.
Final thought on a couple of quick ads. The serious ads, the Jeep, it was a Jeep ad, but it was primarily a narration by Oprah about veterans and waiting on the home front and them finally coming home.
Right, it was moving, brought a tear to your eyes. Some people have been saying it was kind of exploitative. You put this whole kind of serious issue out there, and then you try to use it to sell a Jeep at the end. I think the fact that they have the affiliation with USO gives them a little bit of they've paid a certain cover charge to be able to do that. As for the other related one for Ram, I think that was a great commercial for the memory of Paul Harvey.
The farmers.
It was a great commercial for farmers. I don't know whether it sold any Rams.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great. Yeah, I thought the same. I was waiting to see, and at the end, I had to look close. What? Okay, that's a Ram truck. Okay, I get it now. So it took me. I don't know. Maybe some of those are, as you say, are they? Is it specifically to sell something or just to increase the top of mind, image awareness? I don't know.
I think the latter. I think you're absolutely right. I mean, there's some places like Wonderful Pistachios that they want to tell people we exist. Chrysler does not have to tell people we exist. Budweiser, Anheuser-Busch doesn't have to say it. It's kind of brand maintenance. It's associating your brand and your name with something that they think people will like and be moved by and think is noble, and most did. Those two ads, both Jeep and Farmers, scored really, really high on the USA Today thing, and I think that's really what they're attempting to do.
Finally, Bob, was there anything iconic? Were any of the commercials iconic?
Are we going to watch any of these commercials in the greatest commercial of all time anthologies 20 years from now? If we are, I don't know which one it is. No, I don't think there was no Apple 1984 ad in this bunch.